Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Einfach elektrisch. Indeed, we are currently at Salzburg Airport and have just collected our Cupra Born VZ right here. So, we are planning to thoroughly investigate how an electric car truly performs in the region around Salzburg, particularly when it comes to handling winter road conditions and driving on ice tracks naturally. What kind of joy can one have to show that the electric car might actually outperform conventional drives? Possibly due to its low center of gravity, its power might be superior due to its energy. In addition, we want to take you on a bit of a drive through winter landscapes, combining it with a road trip to explore in a new format. If that piques your interest, we'll certainly have the opportunity to try out other Cupra derivatives as well. I'd say let's not waste any time. Please check if you're part of the einfach elektrisch community. We would be really thrilled if you choose to support us by subscribing. It's absolutely free of charge, but it greatly helps us in bringing you more and more electric car content. Here we go now with the brand new Cupra Born VZ as we embark on our adventure into the snow. We set off from Salzburg Airport, and essentially our first trip is heading toward the wonderfully scenic and picturesque town of Saalfelden. That's approximately 56 kilometers or so just straight across, where we will make our way to the OAMTC. There, they have a restricted course where you are able to drive on both ice and snow, and where we naturally want to thoroughly test the Born VZ. That's essentially our test subject in the video today, and we really want to thoroughly put it through its paces to see how it truly performs. On the way there, we'll of course check the consumption. Today we have 2 degrees Celsius, and of course we've got a little rocket on board. Yeah, there's definitely some power in this. So folks, the VZ, which we introduced to you from Barcelona or nearby, has an electric motor on the rear axle. That powers the rear axle. Impressively, it boasts 240 kilowatts and 326 horsepower, delivering a substantial 545 newton meters of torque. It should reach 200 kilometers per hour max. Likely we can't do that in Austria. Accelerate 0 to 100 in 5.2 seconds. Maybe we can measure that with GPS later on, right? Yeah, let's see. We surely have the Draggy with us. Yeah, 2 degrees Celsius is the outside temperature. Here in the flatlands there's no snow, but up in the mountains there is, and Stefan has checked the tire size. What do we have here? We have 20-inch 215 by 45. Exactly, and then we'll take a look at the interior later, of course. We've got nice racing seats installed here where we fit in snugly. We've got a slim fawn here, and I think it's looking great.
Glad.
What always fascinates us as country folks from Mecklenburg are the mountains, right, Stefan?
Yes, that's nice.
And right now, particularly in the wintertime, when there's a nice thick layer of snow covering it, it really looks quite lovely and picturesque when the sun shines down on it.
That's just entirely different.
But do you think you can make it up there with a Cupra Born VZ, or is that difficult?
He climbs the hill well, I think. No issue at all.
I believe so as well. If not, we can always opt for the Tavascan. We're about to arrive at the OAMTC grounds, and naturally, we also want to provide you with a brief update at this point. Here's what the Cupra Born VZ's consumption reveals to us. We've consistently adhered to the traffic regulations and have now traveled 55 kilometers, boasting an average consumption rate of 20.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which I think is quite okay at, now around 4 degrees Celsius.
Hello, wishing you an exceptionally nice day.
We've set off once more from the OAMTC Center. We received a thorough and insightful briefing there for the 3 ice courses, detailing how we should conduct ourselves, to ensure that safety remains the top priority at all times. And indeed, we will make certain to have an instructor with us so that I don't take the wheel myself, given that I'm not exactly an expert when it comes to ice tracks. But rather, we aim to push the car to its very limits, with the guidance of a professional, to clearly demonstrate to you how impressively well the car performs on icy surfaces. We've reached the ice track and are truly thrilled to have such prominent and amazing support with us today. Miguel is joining us. As a skilled and talented driver who consistently races for Cupra, he will be thoroughly showing us exactly how the Cupra Born VZ performs when it's taken for a spin on ice. Miguel, let's start. And Miguel will also, of course, give us a bit in English.
We can play around because it's a rear-wheel drive car. We can use the slip screw to help position the car a bit. The electronics provide substantial assistance when we get in. However, it is a car that can effortlessly change its direction because we utilize the power of the rear wheels somewhat to carefully choose the most appropriate and correct approach when we get to the edge. Electric cars have some advantages over internal combustion engines in some areas that are a bit more challenging. And the challenging part is that the way we apply power to the drive is so instantaneous that it can sometimes easily cause skidding, but I believe we have done a tremendously good job with the electronics, allowing us to finely and accurately fine-tune and adjust this power as needed, ensuring it operates smoothly and efficiently. It offers us excellent control.
Yes, so Miguel is showing us, I believe, very, very well how you can hold a Cupra Born VZ with 240 kilowatts and 326 horsepower on the ice track here, and that's with 545 Newton meters of torque. It's truly a joy to see people like Miguel, who can handle such a car in any situation with such finesse, using their instincts, and that brings us back to Stefan's popometer. Then truly feel the dynamics of how the rear-wheel drive interacts, fully understanding the behavior of the vehicle as a whole, and thus being naturally capable of achieving impressively fast lap times in this setting. It's not about encouraging you to get into extreme situations with a car, but rather to show you that if you ever find yourself in such a situation, that the car, equipped with its advanced technology and well-designed proportions, is fully capable of getting back on the correct and straight path. It's been a great pleasure, Miguel, to ride alongside you and see how impressively fast the Cupra Born VZ managed to drive on the ice today. It's a nice surprise.
To be honest, you can clearly observe that the grip conditions are really quite low. We are using a snow diode, but quite interestingly, the vehicle itself is actually colder than the surrounding snow. And we can definitely still have a great deal of fun. As you can clearly see, we genuinely enjoy it very much. And don't forget, we have very good security. The car is under control at all times.
Yeah. And that's really the nice part. We simply took the car that we drove all the way from the airport to Saalfelden with. And not just any specially prepared vehicle with distinctive tire combinations or potentially even fitted with spikes. That's essentially the same car we began with you back in Salzburg, simply taking it around here on this course. We're currently situated here on this unique drift oval and the drift circle, and we want to very thoroughly explore just how well the Cupra Born VZ is able to break out. Because it is equipped with a feature known as a safety limiter within the ESC, whenever it exceeds a 45-degree angle, the engine power gets reduced automatically, ensuring it is especially safe and secure, because you're obviously handling 326 horsepower here. So Miguel, let's start around and show how well the Cupra Born VZ drifts.
Okay, here we go. You can see that we need to pick up a bit more speed, and as soon as we start sliding, car is quite neutral. Es erlaubt ein gewisses Maß an Drift, aber wir verlieren nicht vollständig die Kontrolle über das Auto. Having fun is great, but not always safest. You can maintain control to ensure the car stays correctly positioned, balancing enjoyment with safety.
So, Miguel slams down on the throttle, and the car persistently reduces the power output, enabling him to steadily straighten out and prevent it from spinning around completely. And that's also one of the critical safety features that Cupra has thoughtfully integrated, ensuring these vehicles can navigate securely and reliably through all diverse traffic scenarios on the roadways. Can be. I would say, let's show you the whole thing from the outside. Dear Stefan is going inside the roundabout now, and will show you what the Cupra Born looks like from outside. With the Cupra Born, and of course we want to make an effort to show you a bit from the outside how the Born behaves, in a way that you might be able to better assess it and understand its characteristics even more clearly. How Miguel adeptly manages to get the Born VZ into a drift, but then skillfully brings the car back under control, so to speak. Smoothly regains control of the rear. In the Born VZ, ESC can't be fully disabled in sport mode, ensuring you always have that critical layer of security. We've made the switch to the Cupra Tavascan VZ since with this model, you're able to completely deactivate the ESP system. We really want to demonstrate how it performs under these conditions on the drift oval. How much fun you can have here with a Tavascan, just kidding of course. You see, Miguel is really giving it his all here. We're at an angle exceeding 45 degrees here. And the car, with its advanced technology, demonstrates that it's possible to effortlessly bring it back to a normal position at any given moment. Alright, let's begin the drift round, Miguel. Okay then.
Nun ist's recht einfach. Relying on the right foot is key for ensuring balance and performance. Initially, it requires practice and focus, but it quickly becomes second nature. Thanks to improvements, I can maintain pressure for longer periods without tiring quickly, enabling more efficient and effective outcomes in my tasks. I'm getting more into sparking these days, but I must be extra careful to control what I'm doing. It's beyond just spinning aimlessly now.
Is it feasible for you to manage to complete a whole lap right from the start here? Do you believe you can successfully accomplish that in the very first step without encountering any obstacles or difficulties along the way?
We need to forget that there's ice on the ground, and the tires need to grip the surface as much as absolutely possible. I can start up the engine, but maintaining a consistent flow remains challenging. I managed to gain some speed, but it doesn't always stay constant. The engine's power helps in crucially sustaining the necessary momentum.
Perfectly mastered, and I can confidently tell you it's an absolute blast. It's just such a huge pleasure and incredibly enjoyable to take a spin with the Tavascan. We're back in the Cupra Born VZ, and now we're taking on the third track. This one is a bit more winding, a touch sportier, and offers an even greater driving challenge. In a moment, Miguel is going to provide us with a further detailed explanation about how the Cupra Born VZ truly operates. Miguel, let's start.
Okay, los geht's. Bei dieser Strecke ist es etwas kurvenreicher. Du wirst sehen können, wie die Elektronik arbeitet, um mir nicht nur bei der Beschleunigung zu helfen, wie jetzt. Moreover, it assists significantly when taking corners, enhancing front-end rotation and ensuring a smoother driving experience overall. At times, the inside is hit, while at other times it's the outside, which ultimately makes the ride considerably more responsive. Even in extreme high iron-induced conditions like this, we find minimal shelter. It's certainly nice to have fun. However, at the same time, it's advantageous for the driver to maintain a greater amount of control over the entire situation. It's not just when we are departing from the circle, but also when we are actually entering into it.
Yes, great. I believe the beauty of electromobility lies in its ability to enable effective power distribution, enhancing control significantly. This makes driving on these tracks enjoyable and offers a unique, standout experience. Electromobility lets us distribute and control power effectively, making driving enjoyable.
I believe it is a present since we have a ride that's already been available on the market for quite a long time, and it's most certainly not a dreadful ride by any means. I genuinely enjoy playing with it, and I consistently find it to be quite a lot of fun. This proof clearly shows that electromobility is here to firmly stay, and we can easily adapt our vehicles to effectively meet the evolving needs and desires of today's drivers. If we want to ensure safety division, the vehicles are super safe. If we're seeking a vehicle designed to be fun-focused, it can be very enjoyable and delightful too.
And that's also the rebellious nature of the Cupra brand, that you can have, so to speak, the wolf in sheep's clothing if you want to, and just normally, navigating through the traffic, but then also, like today here on an exhilarating ice track, you can unleash the remarkable power of a VZ with its impressive 326 horsepower and 545 Newton meters. We're off the ice track now and are currently heading back to the OAMTC for a brief visit. Let's take a moment to check the consumption figures first. We were roughly at 20.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, correct?
Yes, we have that now. Completely managed by Miguel's power foot.
Miguel really hit the accelerator out here. Currently, his battery is at 74%. I think it was at 83 before. When you make use of energy to achieve propulsion, it's quite natural and logical that you're drawing more energy out from the battery itself. We are currently on the racetrack here in Saalfelden with the OAMTC. Naturally, I've gone ahead and switched the Cupra into its designated Cupra driving mode, and naturally we want to perform the 0 to 100 check twice with the ESC set in sports mode for you all. I need to correct myself, by the way, as the official factory specs indicate 5.6 seconds, not 5.2 seconds, for accelerating from 0 to 100. We're conducting tests in both directions because of the slight incline in the course. On the other side, easily goes down, and then Stefan divides it by 2 with his calculator, and then I think we have the perfect average so that no one in the comments has anything to complain about. So Steph, start countdown, I'm ready.
321 subsequently moves it significantly forward ahead by another 20.
40, 50, 70, 90, 100, and we're going over the ice here once more, and then we're executing a full stop, applying the brakes firmly to observe exactly where the car will come to a complete halt. Stefan, do we have the initial value available yet?
Data. 0 to 60 in 3.36 seconds, 0 to 100 in 7.2 seconds, 6.21, 100 to 0 in 3.3. Thus,
we're doing a U-turn now and we'll try again in the other direction from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. We've turned around, going opposite way. Countdown, Stefan. 3, 2, 1, go. Off he speeds up once more. We're quickly at 50, then accelerating to 70 and reaching 100, maintaining that speed. And finally, we brake firmly.
We're stopped. 0 to 60 in 3.09, 0 to 100 in 5.86, 100 to 0 in 5.86, 3.87.
Yes, in our defense, we have to say that we did this with the Cupra sort of out of the blue, and of course, we also have winter tires on it. So maybe we didn't quite hit the factory specs. But I think we've clearly shown that the Cupra can be impressively quick in acceleration. Now that we've completed the performance part, you've seen how the Cupra Born VZ performed on the ice, how it accelerated from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Now we want to move on to its actual discipline and see how it handles here in the mountains. How the Cupra Born VZ can efficiently perform and prove its capabilities in cold winter temperatures. To do so, we entered a small panoramic route into the GPS. I think it's a good 40 to 50 kilometers, if I've got that right. And then we'll give it a try driving in eco mode, striving to be as efficient as possible with the maximum level of recuperation. Let's not waste any time and get started right away. So you can clearly see we're not faking, doing anything shady or manipulating, but that everything reflects reality as it truly is. Let's reset the onboard computer together, bringing it all back to 0, and we'll also collectively switch into range mode, ensuring the car now has the chance and capability to optimize its performance and efficiency, allowing it to ensure it achieves maximum efficiency. We always set the air conditioning to 22 degrees, but somehow it still felt a bit too hot, don't you think, Stefan?
Yeah, just earlier out on the track, it definitely got a bit warmer owing to all the movements, exertion, and activity and stuff.
Exactly. So we basically entered into the GPS here. This is a particularly unique route that we're currently driving through here. It forms a circular course. You see this here, where we take a nice drive around the Stony Sea in Saalfelden and then back here to the MTC station. We now have 70% in the battery. Let's make sure we don't waste any time here. I'll switch into the brake mode and then we're going to go ahead and start with the Born VZ right away. What is truly wonderful is, of course, the beautiful nature that we find here with the majestic mountains and the pristine snow. We don't really know it like that in Mecklenburg. How often do we get snow in a year, Stefan?
Yeah, perhaps around 4 days at the most, and afterwards it's just mush.
Yeah, and then of course we have beautiful forests that we drive through here. When driving through challenging terrains, it's quite noticeable that the Cupra Born VZ is skillfully and carefully tuned to deliver an ideal blend of firmness and comfort. But I must tell you, living in the mountains could suit me too. That's nice, isn't it?
You also get to enjoy this incredibly fresh air here. That's truly wonderful.
Yes, you really have to say that. Austria is such a great travel spot. Not least because in Austria there is also a very, very nice cuisine, which is somehow totally delicious.
Sure, yeah.
Here we present to you once again the Steinernen Meer from Saalfelden. It's truly a magnificent and awe-inspiring rock wall, which I believe is also over 2,000 meters in total height. And where I think you can't really drive up, at least not from this side. But it's really quite impressive how the mountains around here are partially penetrated by deep ravines. We've made our way back to the OAMTC and have now successfully completed a journey totaling, just look Stefan, 63 kilometers while maintaining a consistent average speed of 60 kilometers per hour throughout. Here over land and through the villages, we've experienced consumption of 17 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. It's now 7.5 degrees Celsius outside, and I have to say that's a really decent value indeed. It's truly a fantastic value, especially considering it's running with just a single electric motor. Nonetheless, it offers a bit more performance and power, and since the road is constantly going up and down, I think one can live with that quite well. It also demonstrates quite clearly that there's a nice range spread available. On one hand, there's the performance side, letting the 326 horsepower glide smoothly on ice or through fast curves. Nevertheless, you can undoubtedly be incredibly efficient while you're traveling on the road in the Cupra Born VZ, because it also has a battery pack with 79 kilowatt hours net and 84 kilowatt hours gross. And when we calculate that up to the 17 kilowatt hours, there's already quite a decent range. So, I definitely think his estimate of 450 kilometers isn't unrealistic.
Absolutely not in an urban setting, city or country. Yeah, easy.
Last but not least, we want to give you a little introduction to the Cupra Born VZ. Here in an incredibly striking metallic black with the distinctive and stylish copper Cupra accents, just as we are used to. Also with the logo nicely at the top and highlighted again at the bottom, that looks super. Looks great. We've got beautiful LED headlights on board, which of course also have the appropriate high and low beam functions. We see the nice 20-inch wheels outside, right, Stefan?
Yeah, 20 inches.
That are also aerodynamically optimized to naturally achieve the greatest possible driving range, even when fitted with thick, robust winter tires already on board for those colder months. This is really a perfect fit for the Saalfelden region as well. And here you can very clearly see the 5-door once more, showcasing beautifully that it indeed also features. It offers excellent performance and boasts a striking, bold design with signature LED lights. So I must say I like that a lot, and it offers a nice diffuse look. And of course, something that absolutely can't be missing is the big, bold VZ logo. That's how you can clearly tell, of course, that this is indeed the top variant. We can definitely take a look here, including in the trunk. You'll see that you can really travel quite comfortably and nicely with all your luggage and belongings. And no limitations to deal with. The only thing I might have wished for is an optional powered tailgate. I'm always a bit of a sloth there. Yeah, that's cool, right? You can treat yourself a little. I understand this might not entirely belong in the class when some critics might once again, whether rightly or wrongly, make a point of mentioning it. Yes, we promised you we would also show you a little bit of the interior. You saw part of it just now, even during the drive, but not those thick, nice, beautiful racing seats. That truly is an absolutely outstanding highlight, where you receive the utmost support for the entire body and are wonderfully integrated into the seat's shells. And what I really like, Stefan, if you film the back again to the front seat backrests, you can see very nicely again. I believe we've shown you that. Something we also showcased in Barcelona, this light blue carbon fiber. So that's indeed quite a nice touch, incorporating just a hint of that stylish blue carbonara vibe yet again. to have in the car. Yes, let's gradually move towards wrapping it up. I sincerely hope that you all enjoyed watching this video. Gave it a thumbs up rating. We kindly ask you to check whether you're already a member of the Einfach Elektrisch community. We'd be delighted if you'd support us with your subscription. It's free for you. For us, though, it's a tremendous help to consistently keep delivering you with fresh and engaging new content beamed directly to your phone, tablet, or even your television. And in that way, you're always thoroughly well informed when the newest videos about e-mobility become available online. I sincerely thank you for watching. Stay healthy and see you soon. Yours, Ollie. You, Stefan.
We're currently driving the loaders now.
Yeah, that would be an awesome story. I'd really be up for that. Look, we could also clear away some of the snow down there.
Yeah, we could be a bit useful.
You know, that would be an awesome event, but you know what? I just really don't understand it. You've got such an awesome design. You create such a beautiful look for the car. You think everything through with copper, with carbonara, with this and that, and LED tail light design. And he's got it, and then he's got, you know, please take a look at that, another big, thick shark fin Cupra. Geez, again. Couldn't they fit that into the body or maybe integrate it into the side mirror? Or perhaps integrate it into Charm Integrin. I simply cannot comprehend why they continue to promote this shark fin design so much and with such enthusiasm. I can't seem to grasp it fully. Do you really get it? I just don't. I'm out.